Hello everyone, my name is Greta. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another video. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and hit the button down below. I upload new videos every single week, everything related to fitness, fashion, lifestyle, everything in between. And on that note, let's get into the video. So today's video is going to be talking all about body dysmorphia. I am somebody that has struggled with this and continue to sometimes still struggle with it here and there. However, I'm here to give you my 5 top tips on how to deal with your body dysmorphia. With this being said, I am by no means a healthcare professional, and if you are somebody that is struggling with an eating disorder, I urge you to seek professional help. So, my first tip that helped me is to find gratitude within your body. I know this might sound really cliche, but instead of looking in the mirror and pointing out that one thing that you don't like, whether it's your arms, whether it's your legs, whether it's your skin, focus on something that you do like on your body. Maybe you love your hair, maybe you love your smile, maybe you have a cute nose, I don't know, whatever it might be. Instead of focusing on that one thing that you do not like and you hyper obsess about, focus on what you do like. And over time, this will become better. And maybe every week you start pointing out something else, something new that you do like, and it'll just take away from that negative mindset that you continuously have. And I know that personally worked for me, and originally I actually started focusing on my teeth. Something as small as that. I started focusing on the fact that I take care of my teeth, and I had braces for 3 years, and I like my teeth. I think they look really nice. So I would focus on that and then kind of build up from there, and maybe moved into my hair and maybe into my eyes. And it slowly built up from there, and it takes time, but it helped a lot. Tip number 2, on days when you do wake up and you're just having one of the days where you are feeling down on yourself, where you haven't even looked at yourself in the mirror, but you already are hating maybe the way you're feeling in your skin, you're already feeling bloated, you're feeling lousy, you're just having a bad day, my tip to you is do not look at yourself in the mirror, in terms of do not body check yourself. And on top of that, do not step on the scale. My body dysmorphia was mainly about my physique, and a lot of times it also had to do with the number on the scale. So what I would do in the beginning, which would always make it worse, is I would step on the scale first thing in the morning when I was already feeling bad about myself, and then that number would be up, and then I would feel even worse about myself. So I urge you to stay off that scale and do not continuously stare at yourself in the mirror. That is probably the worst thing you can do, because all you're going to be doing is just staring at that one thing that's bothering you in your head. Like if you are bringing yourself down about not having a flat stomach, all you're going to be doing by looking in the mirror is staring at your stomach, pointing out what's wrong with it, and it's just going to encourage that little voice in your head, and it's going to get stronger and stronger as the day goes on, because all you're going to hyper focus on is on that part. So instead, what actually helps me, instead of focusing on the mirror, I will journal, I will meditate, I will do yoga, I will go on a walk, I will do anything else except for just wake up first thing in the morning and look at myself in the mirror. It doesn't help anyone. It's not going to help you. Tip number 3, make goals that do not center around your appearance. I found that when I first started getting into my fitness journey, when I became obsessive about it and my body dysmorphia kind of built up from there, I found that I was hyper focused on fitness and I had nothing else in my life. So it just made it a lot easier for me to just hyper focus on all my flaws and hyper focus on my physique, because I literally had nothing else to focus on. So instead, I have switched my goals over in the sense of I found hobbies outside of the gym, so outside of anything having to do with changing my physique. And then I also have goals that do not include losing weight, that did not include having a 6-pack. For example, before, my core focus being at the gym was to burn as many calories as possible, to sweat as much as possible, because that is the only way in my head I thought I was getting a good workout in. So now my goals are actually to get stronger. So what do I keep track of at the gym? I keep track of how much weight I'm squatting. I keep track of if I have upped my level when I do shoulder press, when I do bicep curls. That is how I track my progress. Those are my goals. Maybe yours, maybe you're a runner. Maybe your goal can be to run your fastest mile you have ever run before. Maybe your goal can be to run a half marathon, a full marathon. Something that is not related to your appearance. Having those goals completely changes your mindset because your focus is taken elsewhere. You are no longer just focused on what you look. It's like you're looking at a completely different picture, and you realize that you are more than just your body. You are more than just your weight. You are more than, the acne you might have on your skin. It is beyond that. Life is so much more than that, and when you start making those goals, you will start realizing that as well. Number 4, stop the comparison game. And by this, I mean, go on your Instagram and go and look at the people that you follow. Anyone on there that when you go on their account and you find yourself going into this wormhole of just mindlessly scrolling and making mental notes of what that person has that you don't, and why their life is better than yours and why their body is better than yours, and then in the end of looking to their account, you start feeling like shit, completely get rid of that account. Block it. Well, blocking is a little extreme, but unfollow that account, because that feed, it has nothing to do with that person. It has to do with your mental health, but you will see that that feed is not bringing you any positivity into your life. What it's actually doing is deterring you from getting better mentally. It's actually slowing down the process of you coming out stronger, basically. It doesn't mean that you will never follow that account again, but for right now, it's very, very important you just go on your Instagram, go on whatever social media you use, and if it is somebody that is triggering you, if it is somebody that you just find yourself after leaving their account, you find yourself hating yourself, why are you following that account? They're not bringing anything good to you. I know for me personally, I used to follow typical fitness girls. So they were the typical blonde, tan, tall, Victoria's Secret model looking girls. And I used to follow them because in my head, I had this idea that they're going to be my inspo, they're my fitspo, whatever you want to call them. So like, I'm going to keep them on my feed because as long as they're on my feed, it's going to inspire me to be better, to work better. But it didn't. All it did was make me hyper-focus on what I did not have in my life. All it did was I looked at these women who had completely different physiques than me. It was like a body that I will never have because my natural body type is not like that. I am not naturally 6 feet tall, really lanky, super lean. I'm never going to be like that. So I unfollowed them and I never looked back, and I've never been happier for it because I stopped that comparison game. I've stopped looking at what that person has that I don't and just started focusing on what I have right now. And my last tip number 5, is probably the hardest. And that is to conquer your fears. This is something that will most likely bring up a lot of unwanted feelings if you do try to do this. Basically, what I mean by this is, say your biggest insecurity is your skin. Say it's your hair. Say it's your stomach. I know for me personally, my biggest fear was always like my little pooch that I have on my stomach. So I would never wear a crop top. I would always be in oversized shirts because it was just a huge insecurity of mine. I forced myself to wear a crop top for the first time 4 years ago. It was uncomfortable. It took me way out of my comfort zone, way out of my comfort zone. And I did it because I wanted to shut the voices down in my head that were telling me that I wasn't good enough to wear a crop top. Because in my head, I had been putting this hard work in. In my head, I was tired of having this negative voice continuously bringing me down. So I put on that crop top, I went to the gym, and it brought up a lot of anxiety. It brought up a lot of fear. It made me feel like everybody was staring at me at first. But then after like 10, 15 minutes of being at that gym, I realized nobody cared. Absolutely nobody cared. So if your insecurity, for example, might be your skin, maybe you refuse to leave the house without makeup, maybe you're really, really insecure about your hair, your natural hair, and you refuse to leave the house without washing it and drying it and styling it, and you will not leave the house until it's absolutely perfect, try leaving the house without makeup on. Just try it. One simple trip, try to go to the grocery store. Try leaving the house without having your hair done. Face your fear head on. It's going to be so hard at first, but what ultimately happens is you start realizing that fear that you have made giant in your head. You know what I mean? It's like this insecurity that odds are nobody even realizes. And you have transformed into this life-altering thing. It is taking over your life. When you face it head on, when you say, screw you, and you walk out the house without any makeup on, you're gonna realize nobody notices it. Nobody cares about it. And you're gonna become so much more confident in yourself. So those are my top 5 tips. That is what has helped me. Body dysmorphia is something that, unfortunately, just like any other eating disorder, I do not think that there is a cure for it. I think it is something that is continuously going to be in my life. But as all the articles that I have read, I remember one woman once said that, well, body dysmorphia, there is no cure for it. There is a way to get it from being in the driver's seat in your life to having it be in the back seat, to having it be just something that you're aware it's there, and you're aware that it sometimes will creep its head up a little bit, but you get better and stronger, and you're better about shutting that voice down, shutting those insecurities down, and just reminding yourself that whatever flaws you're hyper-focused on are not a big deal. That the world is not going to judge you for having acne. They're not going to judge you for not having the perfect body. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, as always, leave them in the comments down below. I do my best to get back to everyone. If you have any suggestions for videos, I'll leave them in the comments down below. Once again, if you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the big red button. I upload new videos every single week, and I will see you next time. Bye.